thing that, you know, we haven't seen here tonight, thankfully, but which I fucking hate, and that is neutral starts. You ever get one of these fuckwits who's just like, you're about to start the game, you strike and everything, you pound it out, and you're like, and the guy's like, oh, can we do neutral start? And it's just like, why the fuck didn't you ask me, like, before we started the match? Like, now I have to reset, because I'm not doing a fucking neutral start. First of all, that's what the game has, like, the go thing for, right? When you press go, when the game says go, you go. That's end of story. The other thing is, if you're really worried about whether you have, like, an advantage with the ports or whatever, just fucking learn the correct ports beforehand. I'll even, at my tournaments, put a fucking diagram of the neutral ports for you. You can do that. No excuses, all right? Here's the other thing, all right? You know, you were like, oh, okay, if people do it perfectly, well, that's not that big of a deal, right? Okay? But here's what happens. All right, let me ask you this. What happens if it goes to time and it was super close, you know, and those 5 seconds would have mattered? What are they going to say? The person who didn't want neutral start, you know, they got robbed of 5 seconds to make a difference in the match. Like, the game is 8 minutes long, so play for fucking 8 minutes. Next thing is, like, what happens if somebody, like, so usually what they do is they say, all right, we'll go on 55, right? Like, when the clock hits 55. All right, does that mean when it says, like, the first time when it hits 55, or when it's 55 and 0, you know, hundredths of a second? And then even if they agree on that, like, sometimes people just go early. I've definitely seen people go early when they're, like, supposed to be doing a neutral start, and they did it at the time, at, like, a certain time. I definitely saw it in the arcading a few times. So then, like, you put people in a position where they either have to call the person out and be like, no, you didn't neutral start correctly, or they have to, like, get that disadvantage of not, like, really being a neutral start. So there's just, like, there's human error involved in it, and, like, what's the point of introducing that into the game when we don't need to? Meanwhile, NMW and Frootloop, this is, I think this is a little weird for a first stage. Like, I think traditionally, like, this isn't really a good stage for Sheik in this, right? Anyway, neutral start sucks. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your TOs. No more neutral start. Let's kill this shit before it gets bigger. Because you know that there are people in this community that are going to start advocating this because of some bullshit that happened to them in what tournament or whatever, where they didn't like where Fox spawned next to them or something. Oh no! I do talk to Grandpa Hugs. Like a long time ago, well, a long time ago by today's standards, before Genesis 3, we had a thread about how we weren't going to do neutral starts, and we hashed it out there. And, you know, Hugo will always respect, like, the TO's rules. Like, he won't try to get around it. But not everybody is as conscientious as our good friend, Daddy Hugo. And that's who I'm worried for. That's who I'm worried about. You gotta, you know, when you're a TO and you're making rules and doing all this shit, your job isn't to think about all the top players who, you know, usually know what to do and are there on time, except for Mewtwo King Wizrobe. Your job is to think about all the fucking shitlords out there who are going to try to grind their way to get one extra stock for a bracket match that doesn't matter, for their fucking regional PR that doesn't matter, and, you know, you got to think of all the grind that can happen. So that's what I'm about. Neutral starts fucking suck. Anyway, that's my piece. Yes, I am still in bracket. I beat Mogwai in a pretty close set. Anyway, NMW. Trying to show that that last match wasn't fraudulent. And wait. Sheik counterpicked here. Again, I don't really. This seems a non-traditional fucking stage for this pick. Because Sheik. I think the idea is okay, and I can respect this. So NMW is the kind of Falcon that really likes his space to move around. He definitely likes to be able to have like the place to retreat to do is like, you know, retreating back airs. Doesn't like to be put in a corner. He's really good at playing those like micro defensive games, and this stage doesn't quite give him as much opportunity to do that. The thing is that Sheik will die way earlier on this stage compared to, you know, Dreamland, Battlefield, stuff like that. You think this is a good counter pick for Sheik, Lagrange? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's the space thing. Like you just don't give Falcon enough room to move around. All right, I respect that. So then this counter pick from Falcon makes sense. This is all the room Falcon wants to move around, platforms to escape from. See, I always thought like Battlefield, I guess it's just because the Sheiks that I had played a lot in the past were all about using like the platform needle shit. But I guess like that's not as effective against Falcon, right? Like Falcon can just move out of the way of needles. Like he can just run under you and do his own shit. Like I'm Jigglypuff, like it takes me a long time to get around needles. And when I do that, it's really obvious what I'm doing. So Sheik just like gets in my way, or you know, does a shield drop through, forward air, back air, neutral, or whatever. So I guess that makes sense that, you know, Sheik counterpicking Yoshisori. Oh, I thought that was going to be a knee. Oh wow, that was a brave knee. That was the Dewan. That was the Dewan flowchart. Regrab 2 times and then try to do a hard read, and usually miss. Does Sheik really even like do a whole bunch with needles in this matchup? Like, I feel like it's only like. You don't really use the needles in neutral game that much unless you're just like in a particular situation where you're like coming down and Falcon's in front of you. So maybe like the platform stuff with needles is not really just as big of a deal. I don't know. I think this is a really interesting matchup because like, all right, back in like 2011, 2012, the pre-Melee Adami era, as I like to call it, this was considered super bad for Falcon. Like, Sheik just trunched Falcon. And it was in big part because of people like Taupe. I don't know if you guys know Taupe, but he was somewhat notorious for like having just a really obnoxious tech chase game against Falcon, where it was just down throw, tech chase, regrab, down throw, and just all that shit until you were at a high enough percent, and then, you know, he just did his down smash or whatever, and you were just dead, and there was just nothing you could do about it because it was Taupe.
What's up, man?
Yo,
how you doing?
Ben's W.
That's not how you say it, but anyway.
Yes, it is. Because you're just all about the W's.
I'm all about the W's. If there are any Ben subs in the chat, you can throw up a Ben W, but I doubt. I have 2 subs, so I doubt either of them are in the chat.
Sick.
And then Tophe's fake sub, so Tophe's here. So, how's your tournament going?
You know, I'm playing pretty well today.
I saw you beat Magwai.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I beat Mogwai. It's also I don't really get to play him that much.
Like, he just moved here, right? So you might
No,
have-
he's been. Well, he lived here for a while before he moved to LA, I think.
No,
And
I'm
then
pretty
he
sure he
moved
lived
here.
in Philly, right?
Yeah, but he was in NorCal, or maybe he I mean, he was in LA for a while. I swear he was in NorCal for a little bit before that. But I played him like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times since he's been to West Coast. And this is, I haven't beat him in like 2 or 3 years.
So how did Frootloop took game 1 here, right? How'd that happen?
Oh, no, game 1, actually, this is game... Oh!
No, I'm saying in game 1, Frootloop took it. Right?
No, NMW actually won game 1 because
okay.
Frootloop accidentally like fell off the ledge and SD'd and NMW edgehogged him. Game 2, Frootloop counterpicked here and won. Game 3, NMW counterpicked Stadium and won. And now, I'm surprised NMW is... Like, why are we back here?
Yeah, I don't know. He's like should not be
He
allowed
won.
to pick this.
He won
stage,
here.
right?
Yeah, unless the only thing is if NMW just gentlemaned it. And it is done.
That hurts.
Okay.
When you get kneed like that hits your soul, right?
Oh yeah.
That triple up air combo. Knee.
Well, Nick, I don't know what happened like the previous game because like Frootloop did really well game 2 on this stage.
I know there's been a couple stocks, right, where he's got pretty messed up where he shouldn't have been, like early kills. Hasn't hit a lot off of his grabs, so it's not a good look.
That was I don't know what was happening there. That was the. All right.
And then knee kills. What the hell? He was
All
like
right.
80%.
I don't know. I don't know if Sheik is like an experiment for Frootloop or not. I mean, it wasn't. Sheik's not bad, but I've just been more interested to see Falco.